My name is Jessie, and this is Write the Hard Thing. I really appreciate you guys showing up on a Monday. It's kind of nice to take this little break in the middle of the day at the start of the week. And if this is your first time here, this is just a little invitation for 10 minutes to breathe and write together and just see what comes up. It's just a way of returning to ourselves and our body through our writing. So, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, I'll walk you through just the flow so you just get a feel for what to expect. We start with grounding, and we do that because the goal here is to just help our body feel safe enough to show up honestly on the page and just see what comes up, especially if we are writing kind of like a harder, sticky story today. And you don't have to go into the deep end, right? Only if that's calling to you today. Just be open. You never know what's going to be there. And so then I give a prompt, and the prompts are just, it's an entry point into, it's an invitation. You don't have to take it if you have another thread that's calling for you. It's totally your call. And then we will write together for 10 minutes. And after writing, we will do another little grounding practice, it's a short little breathing session just to bring us back into the day and kind of transition as a like little reset. So, yeah, we're just going to take a moment and just honor our space and our body and our writing and our story and our truth and just everything that is showing up today. So, we will start by arriving here in the present moment together. And we do that with our breath. So, let's put our feet on the ground, and you can close your eyes or soften your gaze if that feels good. And just take one deep breath in through your nose. Hold for a moment and exhale out your mouth. Let something soften, your jaw, your belly, even your ears. Scan your body. Is there anywhere that feels tight or grasping, tense, that's just holding on to something? You don't have to change it. Just notice it. Give it your attention. Now let's breathe into that space. Take a deep breath in and exhale. You can place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly if that feels good. Just connect to your body. Feel the movement of your breath. And let's take one last inhale together. Hold and exhale. You can open your eyes if you close them. Feels so nice, doesn't it? Just like take a moment, just settle in. I love it. Okay, so today's prompt is pretty simple, but it can be really powerful. We are going to write about leaving. So that's all it is write about leaving. So leaving as a theme has come up quite a bit in my life, time and time again. It's probably the most reoccurring theme. So much so that I even named my memoir around the concept. So it's however you can approach it however you want. So leaving as in like a breakup or leaving the house this morning or like somebody passing away, or it can be you leaving or someone else leaving. It's totally your call. Just write about leaving. So I will turn my screen around so that you can see the prompt as you're writing, or for anyone that shows up late, they can see it. And I will pop on here when you have about 1 minute left and let you know just to finish up that thread. And then we will do a little bit of grounding after that. Okay, so let me turn this around. All right. All right, let's begin. Okay. You have about a minute left. Finish up your thought. Okay. How did that feel? Thank you to the crab for sharing some of your writing right in the chat. I love seeing what comes up for you guys. And sharing is such a nice way to connect and just kind of build community and step into some visibility in a safe space, especially when your body feels grounded. That is part of the magic of this as well. Before we get into our grounding, I want to invite us to give our piece a title, even if you just wrote like a sentence or a few words. Just what would you call it? It could be like a single word, or maybe how the piece made you feel, or the feeling underneath what you wrote. It can be anything. I think for me, like titles can be really helpful. Whether you use this time to just kind of go into a story or into using the prompt to go into a story that you've been sitting with, and then you come back to it later to expand it into something else. A, t- um, a title can be really helpful because it will tell you what is the heart, like what's the heart of the piece. And when you come back, you're like, oh, that's where I was going with this. Like so for me, a few weeks ago, like a few sessions ago, we wrote on how joy a moment when joy was used to cover up loss. And I wrote about, the birth of my son and just the trauma of that and how obviously his birth was the joy, right? But there was this loss that came with it as well. And so I kind of touched that story. I touched the center of that emotional landscape of what was there. And the title really helped me bring it in of like what I was actually feeling. So the title was the blue of longing. And so I was able to bring in that emotion of longing into the piece when I went back to actually expand it into something that feels like a full finished piece that I actually will be sharing. It will be going out this week. So it's kind of fun to use this space to kind of just see what's there. And then if it feels really like emotionally charged, you can come back to it later and expand it. So let's see if any of you dropped any titles in. Karen, tissues full of tears. Oh, thank you for sharing that. Um, I feel that. Becoming Wilder. Yeah, the 10 minutes goes so fast for me too. I'm so long-winded. I'm like, want to set the scene up or set what I'm trying to do up. And then by the time I do that, it's like, oh, I never actually said what I wanted to say. So it's really teaching me to just skip the preamble and get straight into the center. Like, what am I saying? What am I feeling? What's coming up? And get really clear on that and just get that down because once you have that, you can build out from there. And that's been super helpful. Um, oh, this is beautiful. Oh, look, yeah, I'm going to read this out loud. Becoming Wilder. She writes, "You lived with a house of professional leavers. You learned how to leave before you learned how to spell your own name." I really resonate with that. And this is just such the power of sharing because it can ripple. Like, I feel that so fully, and I've experienced that in my life. Thank you for sharing that. Bianca, I saw you hop on partway through. Good for you for getting some writing in, even if it wasn't the full 10 minutes. Your title, Brief Relief. Thank you. Thank you all for sharing this. I I actually didn't come up with a title for my piece, and I don't know, if I can in this second while I'm on here, but, um, yeah, I wrote about tomorrow is my son's first day of, like, play school or whatever, and I'm like, "Why am I sad about this? Like, I should be excited," and I am, but I'm like, "What's going on here? What's the loss or what's the emotion?" And I think what it is that, like, he is a full to me, he's, like, such a pure like, whole person, and then now that he's gonna be in school, he's gonna have so much more and we travel with him a lot, so he does have, touch points with the outside world, but being in a space with, like, 30 other kids, and, I mean, it's very art and music based, so it'll be really fun for him, but all the outside influences and just the rhythms of how, like, "Okay, we have to get here in the morning, we have to do this," like, the demands of what is required to make a life, I think that is what I'm like, "Oh, it's gonna change him." So, the title for me, I think, would be something around change and, like, I don't know, maybe, like the between space of change of, like, it's not good and it's not bad, but it's like, what is it, you know? Oh, thank you. Oh, okay. Let me see what else you guys wrote here. There's so much good stuff. Okay, Karen, yeah. Yes, thank you. Childhood is a series of transitions that parents have to adapt to. That's so true. And my childhood taught me to adapt. Like I'm really adaptable, but I have this like protective energy of him of like, I just want him to be him and not, I don't know, let the world in and change him. Um, anyways, I can go on with that forever. So, thank you all for sharing and just being so vulnerable. I know that that can be hard. I've been doing this for a long time, so I am getting better at sharing these hard things. And thank you, Tranquil Rain, Frozen in Fear. Yeah, yeah, and that's part of what we're trying to do here is to kind of release some of that fear by coming back to our body and building that safety within ourselves. So, with that in mind, let's just come back to our body. And I feel like writing about leaving can definitely bring us into someplace like kind of raw and heavy. So, let's start by closing our eyes, if that feels good. And we will begin with the breath. Okay. So take a slow, deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel the weight of your body where it meets the chair or the ground. Feel your breath. Just let it flow. Come back to the body. Come back to the present moment. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Can roll your shoulders if that feels good. Just settle into your space. And we'll take one last inhale together. Hold for a moment and exhale. Release. Thank you. Thank you for showing up today, for your writing. Thank you for being in this space with me. This is our 10th one. So it feels good to just keep doing it and seeing familiar names pop up is always so fun and I like to meet the new people too. Thank you for sharing your titles. I will be back next week. The rhythm is the same, so we will ground, write, and ground, and the prompt will be different. So every week, I never know where we're gonna go with it, but that is part of the fun. So thank you so much. Have a lovely, lovely week.